We just got another update on the mental health changes to VA disability, which was previously April of 2025. Yes, here in a couple months. But now we see the final action pushed to August of 2025. I'm going to talk about August and what this means. There's also other updates with this update. And then we're going to go into how the VA will rate mental health going forward once this rule change is in effect. Now, in case you're wondering, what this means is, and I can tell you what it does not mean. It does not mean the VA is not going to make the change. The change is going to happen, and we see that process move along. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. There's the rule. That's the rule change. This is updated. You can see August of 2025. Now I'm going to show you the old one real quick, the previous one, okay? So if you go back, you click this link up here. This is previous. This one's new. You can see all the changes in one spot. You click the previous one, that was the April, but you can also see there's a lot less stuff up here. And so there was another added change that tells us the VA very clearly is going through the proper processes to make sure this is going to go into effect properly. And so here we go. So this was in the old one. All of this is new. Okay. Now this pretty much says VA mumbo jumbo. This pretty much says VA mumbo jumbo. What matters most is VA has considered two alternatives to the current update. One, not updating the general rating formula. Okay. So they've considered just saying, hey, we're not going to do it. Two, retaining current general rating formula for mental disorders and eating disorders with additional provisions to consider workplace accommodation or assistance. However, and this is the kicker here. So if you read that and you stopped reading, that's bad. You want to read the whole thing. However, neither option is more appropriate than the current approach. So if you're sitting there and you're one of those people in the comments that's saying these changes aren't going to happen, you are living in la la land would be the nicest way to say it. Okay. Anyways, and they also have a anticipated cost of benefits, right? So you want to talk about some budget issues here. VA has determined that this rulemaking will result in benefit transfer costs estimated of $103.4 million in 2024, $14.8 billion over 5 years, and $44.5 billion over 10 years. Risk none identified. All of this is new right here. All of that's new, and this August thing is new. Again, I'm going to show you why it's new. You go to the previous one. You don't see anything up here. You go to the newest one, which was released very recently. I check this thing weekly, okay? And so unless I missed it, I'm talking maybe even today, maybe this morning. Who knows? But boom, there we go. So yes, August, it's happening. The things, however, neither option is more appropriate than the current approach. There you go. Now, what I do want to do is, if you don't know how the VA is going to rate mental health, I'm about to show you what that's going to look like going forward once this goes into effect. Be very clear here. This does not matter until it goes into effect. Okay, so keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and take a look at the VA schedule of rating, the proposed rule change, which is in final action for mental health. Now, this is a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. I've covered this multiple times about medication and what that actually looks like and DSM-5 criteria. But this is the scoop, the main scoop of potatoes you want. Okay, so the mental health is going to be rated at 100, 70, 50, 30, 10. The only rating change there is minimum rating used to be 0. Now it's 10. And then there's these little domains. And so there are levels of impairment, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And then there are domains. And so it's kind of like a grading scale. You need a 4 in one domain to rate 100%. You need a 3 in 2 or more domains to rate 100%. You need a 3 in one domain to rate 70%, so on and so forth. And so when you look at, okay, well, what the heck are these domains? And I'll just go through this briefly. I'm also going to link a video I did with the psychiatrist, Dr. Sharma, who explains the rating criteria change from the DSM-5 criteria and what these look like in our day-to-day regular life. And so there's another way to look at that. But here's your domains. Domain 1 is cognition. talks about memory, concentration, attention, goal setting, speed of processing, all of these things. Okay, now we're going to go to the levels and criteria in a second, but first let's do domains. So one domain is cognition. Another domain is interpersonal interactions and relationships. So it includes both formal, social, associational, etc., and formal, so at work and your social and occupational life. 3 is task completion in life activities, taking a bath, right? Doing the dishes. If you're in school, doing your schoolwork, like whatever that looks like for you. Number 4 is navigating environments. This is a huge one here. May include, but not limited to, the following: leaving the home, being in confined or crowded spaces, independently moving in surroundings, navigating new environments, driving, and then using public transportation. Yeah, I can feel that one up here in the DC area. Okay. And the 5th domain is self-care, right? Hygiene, dressing appropriately, eating correctly, whatever that looks like. And so those are your 5 domains, or buckets, if you will. And then depending on what level you get per bucket will determine your rating up here. So let's say I have a 2, a 2, a 1, a 0, and a 1. Well, I have 2 2s, okay? And so you come up here to our schedule, level 2 in one domain, we have that. So that's 50, okay? Well, I have 2 2s. So level 2 in 2 or more domains, boom, the correct rating for that is 70%. So it depends on how you're graded on level of impairment, 0 through 4. And then each criteria talks about mild, moderate, severe, and total. And it kind of goes down the line of each domain following that same format. Now, the issue, and this is discussed a lot with the Psychiatrist video that I'm going to pin in the comments, an issue with that is because mental health can't be x-rayed, okay? And so what one examiner may deem as mild, another examiner may deem as moderate, and vice versa. So this could be in your favor, this could not be in your favor. I think evidence is going to be absolutely critical. Now, I've said in the past, I personally do not think the mental health rating formula is going to be favorable for veterans. So for instance, right now we see a ton of 70 and 50%. It's my personal opinion, and I hope I'm wrong. It's my personal opinion that we will see a lot of 50s and 30s going forward. If you're wondering if you're safe, yes, you're going to be safe. If you're already graded, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Now, if you prompt an increase, welcome to the club, okay? But yeah, that's about it. That's your mental health update. There are other updates, and I'll be posting those here very, very soon.